Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to be doing dishes while I do this one because I have a day off. And it could get really dicey. But this is like first take. So we'll see how this rolls. I'm seeing the news and it's showing our chief in office going off again about doing some weird stuff like buying or renaming or whatever else he does. This time it's Lake Ontario or something like that. Let me throw this out at you. It's something that we need to realize, okay? His children are not going to ever say anything about Daddy having issues. And so we shouldn't expect that out of the cabinet around him as well. I need to bring it up that, we all have skeletons in the closet. Every single one of us. Some greater than others. And I truly get it. If you're working things out, trying to understand, But let's be real. When your father happens to be already on a different plane because of the financial status, we'll say, that you were brought up in, that burden is extra hard. They can't say anything about him. They may say between themselves, but they're definitely not going to say it on any kind of world stage. And let's get real about this. He's got issues. He's got issues. And the issues are just what every person on the planet will face or is facing. And that's when it comes with age. Okay? We all are going to feel the effects of this one. We all are going to be the village behind this one. Okay? He is old. And nothing wrong with being old. But if you were unhinged, there's going to be a bigger problem. Let's face it. The things that he does and says come from the fact that he has been on a different plane the whole time. The majority of humans on the planet will never, ever, ever see $1 million, let alone have that in their bank account. Okay? The majority of the people on this planet will never, ever know the freedom, the discernment, the pitfalls. We'll say pitfalls instead of stupidity that can happen with having that kind of money. But also the frame of mind. Plain and simple, it's the frame of mind that comes with that. The decor right now in the Oval Office, and I'll say it, looks like a whorehouse. Looks like a French whorehouse. That's my point of view. But that is what apparently he is accustomed to. But he also didn't have the discernment. He didn't have the wisdom. He didn't have the balls to respect the office for what it was. Something that you were going into to help other people, and then you will be leaving at some point. Okay? That has never been there. We are dealing with an aging president. And I guarantee you, at any sign of that aging, he's got people around him to make sure to calm a nation. But also, he's going to have issues that come up that any of us that have been around elderly is going to be very alarming. The thing is that they give him a blank check, his own blank check, and carte blanche to do and say what he wants. And he's got a team around him to pick up the pieces. We've got a problem. And that is, it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to understand who the people are in that village. It takes a village to know who the village idiot is. And it takes a village to bring out the compassion and the discernment to understand when there's a problem. We have a problem. And that problem is that, for lack of a better phrasing, the aging of the president is a factor. And there are going to be times he's on top of his game. But there's also going to be times that he's cheating like hell on a golf course. Okay? There's going to be times that he isn't with it. And those that have backed him can be too blind to see, as like his kids are, they are too weak to do anything about it because of the position that they're in. We've got ourselves a problem. And in that problem, I'm not sure that the people in our government, which is supposed to be for the people, by the people, okay? Remember that? I'm not sure we're going to be able to understand how to handle this. And this, I know, is getting to be a lengthy message. I didn't write this out. I didn't even foresee it until I saw his stupid statement about Lake Ontario. And every time, all these little things add up. America is held hostage right now. All those principles that we laid down in 250 years ago, all those principles and those values that our forefathers broke their backs and died for, to put out, in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution. They're words. They're words to be dissected by him, not perfected by the people and those that we asked to govern us as it used to be. The administration that's there right now is dissecting, but they're dissecting it with a purpose, not of clarifying the meaning, but to rewrite it. And I just needed to get this out. How sad, how utterly sad this really is. There is complacency throughout the whole U.S. There's a complacency on those that are opposed to this administration. There's a complacency on those that are under his thumb. And there's a complacency by his family and himself to wake up to the reality of what America is. Okay? You can't have this much crap go on in a year and a half, 2 years' time, and not realize that you're being taken to the cleaners. And if you're the one supporting this and you're struggling to say those words, then grow a ball. Be the big person in the village. It takes a village to understand that all of a sudden the mayor is a village idiot. It takes that village to understand that we have a problem because someone else rode his coattails to get in there to change things, and now we can't get into City Hall to get things done. We're all in this together. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Personally, I've gotten to the point that I don't give a shit about labels anymore. I just don't. You're hemmed in, you're boxed in. That was something I learned in church one time. That's something that is a Christian principle, believe it or not, that you don't put yourself in that position. If you're going to put yourself in that position, you can't allow God to move freely within you. But all that aside, you need to understand what's going on, America. You really do. And I hope I'm going to put this out here just to see what happens. I hope this speaks to everyone on different levels. I'm just a voice. That's all I am. And I'm going to be here. And this may go nowhere. May get 2 views and out to pasture. But following what I've been seeing, and it's on all levels. I'm not going to pick a subject because each one is a volume and a testimony to what's gone on in this village of ours known as the United States of America. Okay? I got nothing but love for you. I can't say that our president would actually be able to say those words. I truly have a hard time believing that he would actually say those words. And that's the scary part. That's really the scary part. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.